Welcome to Feats and Fables, our 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons game just for adventurers like you. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts by searching for Feats and Fables. We stream Monday nights from about 8 to 10 Eastern on Twitch. The video will be up on YouTube and the audio and podcast form sometimes in the middle of the week. I'm Paige Lightman, your DM, and I'd like to welcome you to Aglarond. It is a peaceful, pastoral nation of half-elves. Our heroes are part of the Foresters, elite scouts and rangers, charged with defending Aglarond's borders, particularly against undead from the evil fascist nation of Thay. Currently, our heroes are on patrol in the Umber Marshes between these two countries. When we last left our heroes, which are Mira, the Water Genasi Druid, Silvio, the Satyr Bard, Ross, the Lizard Folk Barbarian, Wildfire, the Fire Genasi Wizard, and Victor, the Human Fighter, they had been on patrol in the marshes. Through some intelligence they'd exchanged with lizard folk, they had come upon a group of tieflings that were fleeing from Thay that were being chased by swamp undead. Just as a reminder of who our players are, we have Dr. Andrew Huang playing Mira, Ben Heisler playing Silvio, Coda from Codab Games playing Ross, Joe Streaky playing Wildfire, and Ron Frankie playing Victor. All right, so we had been going through the Umber Marshes, and you see these tieflings fleeing and fighting these 3 undead that are crawling through the marsh. And I believe we had just gotten to the point where we had rolled initiative.
Initiative? What? What's attacking us? I don't like being attacked. I'm not a fan of this.
I believe this time we're the attackers.
Ooh, okay. I'm much more a fan of that then.
Yeah, the zombies are just doing their natural thing, which is eating brains, and we're just going to stop that.
It's all part of the natural order.
If I remember correctly, I still rolled an awful initiative.
You did. You're going on 4.
Curses.
Mira has shape changed into a giant lizard, which is what this big crazy marker is here. You see your 4 tieflings who look at you with hope and joy as you have shown up, and these are your 3 undead crawling out of the swamp. Do you have a close-up picture of them? Apparently not. All right. So Mira, looking at this situation, you feel impelled to act in a very lizardy way.
I am impelled to act in a very lizardy way. So, I guess I'm actually near the, let's see, where am I? Physically.
You're the big lizard token.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see. That I'm not used to being so
large.
Present that way. Yes, so large that way. All right, so I will go charging through then. This will actually take me most of my, let's see here, 1, 2, 5, 6. It looks like I'll just get up to where the tieflings are here.
All right.
I forget, in animal form, I don't really talk or anything, do I?
Nope, not unless the animal form can talk, like a parrot can talk.
Okay. Well, so as not to freak them out, I will try not to stare at the fleeing folk here with anything approximating a predatory gaze. Instead, I will keep my eyes on the shambling terribleness behind them.
Make me an I am not threatening the tieflings roll. Remember, you have lizard stats.
So would that be like an anti-intimidation roll?
That's like a charisma roll.
I think that is a charisma roll of some sort, yes.
Okay, I'm going to click this button and hope that works. Hang on. Let's see here. It's a 9. Hey.
Okay. I so noted. So noted. I'm sure nothing will go wrong. And that is a double move for you?
That's a single move. I'll just take the rest of my move here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can probably just serve. Excuse me, but it sounds like rah, so I'll just go over here to get up in their faces.
Okay.
That is a double move, a full double move for me.
The two halfling gents that you pass here and here look at you with terror, but their eyes kind of light up when you head for the zombies instead of them.
I mean, it's like a bear came bursting out of the woods and
Yes.
just whooshed right past them.
Yes.
So Mira's, she's not always the best at this. What can you say?
Silvio, you feel impelled to act next.
What do you mean? She's simply the best.
Yeah, she's practically a miracle.
I see.
Come for the D&D, stay for the puns.
So much pain. So much.
So much pain. All right. So one quick thing. I believe that I need a marker because I believe I am concentrating on a spell because I cast a spell on Good Sir Ross before we started moving down here.
I believe you did.
To remind folks who were not here from last week or who forgot, I cast Protection from Evil and Good on my good friend Ras the Barbarian so that he can not get hit as much as he did in our first combat where he got crit immediately.
Yeah.
So just so I know, can you give me a refresher on what I need to do for that? Is that a bonus to AC?
That is not. So Paige will need to keep this in mind as long as I maintain concentration. The undead, as well as celestials, fiends, and I believe elementals, but I would need to check.
And Fae.
And Fae. Haha, perfect. All suffer disadvantage against you.
Excellent.
So when the undead attack you, if I don't roll with a disadvantage, remind me.
I will do that.
All right. So you have your marker. Oh, also for our home audience, I said that we would make sure you got the tokens if you wanted them. They were released instead of on our website. They were released on our Twitter account this week. So if you go look at our tweets, you'll find a link to them and how to install them on Roll20 and all that. And our Twitter is at Feats and Fables. So go look it up.
So, since Mira is a little word impaired at the moment while she is in the form of a giant lizard that is very scary and already up there in the scrum, Sylvia will move forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a little bit more move, but getting that much closer is not so much great for me yet. And Sylvia will yell out, "We are with the foresters. We are here to save you. Quick, back away. The lizard, very dangerous."
A weak cheer goes up from several of the muddy, ragged-looking tieflings, and they are in bad shape. Like a few of them, I think both. This lady down here, that's the big kind of muscular one that's whacking on them with a piece of wood, and this much less muscular lady over here, both have broken horns, and they're just a sight.
All right. So then I will continue my move, and because I am a satyr, my Caprine hooves move extra quick. So I get up there, and I will give this here zombie right here
A stern talking to.
A stern talking through with a pointy bits. So I shall call upon Talus's favor to hopefully wreath him in terrible electric energy as my booming blade.
Kaboom! Booming blade. I should make that an icon too, because if he moves, exciting things happen, and that's good to remember.
What do you mean? It's always exciting things when I'm around.
That is for sure true.
So I'm going to hope that's a hit.
I would put a goat on him to remind me that he's booming blade. Yes, 19 hits.
It's going to be 5 points of magical piercing damage.
5 points of magical piercing damage. He appears to take all that damage.
Excellent. And I raise my shield and hope that he doesn't come at me.
All right. All right, next is number blue. All right, so the blue one has been knocked into the mud by the tiefling lady, but it doesn't seem to really affect it. It goes and swings a rusted longsword at Mira.
Ooh,
Rude.
super rude. That will hit.
Uh,
Oh, well,
yes.
yes.
And I believe both of those are going to hit. All right. So you may have 7 points of damage from each of the one for a total of 14.
I think I need to write this down because I'm using a giant lizard thing over here. All right. You said 7 points of damage for a total of 14?
Total of 14.
Okay.
We put the bar above your head.
Yeah, I can keep track here for you, Andrew.
All right, that works.
Using the wonderful features of Roll20.
I am not looking so good.
Right. Okay. Wildfire. The battle is developing in front of you. What would you do?
I will move forward slightly. 15, 20, 25, 30. And then I will manifest a ball of acid over this one right here.
Ooh. All right, on number yellow.
Yep, he can... Nope, not that one. Ignore that one. To lie. He can make me a dexterity saving throw. Looking for a 13, and if he fails, he takes 2 points of acid damage. Haha!
Points of acid damage. All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. This character here is a big tiefling lady. She's got very pale skin and she's got terrible scarring over the side of her face. She has thick slabs of muscle. Like she is someone who does something wildly physical for a living. And she's swinging around a big piece of hardwood, kind of like a bat. And the way she does it, like she's wearing kind of a crop top, so you can see all like the play of the muscles in her shoulders. Like she looks like she has done this professionally. And the reason that she's only having trouble here is because she's fighting with a stick of wood. All right, so she whacks at these guys and damage is taken as well. All right, this young lady screeches and starts running. 10, 15, 25, 30, 35, 40. Runs over to Victor and says, "Oh, thank God you're here to save us." This one backs up and casts a spell at... I forgot to put damage on these. Casts a spell at this one, where a greenish orange bolt of sizzling energy flies downfield at the zombie.
Which zombie was that?
Number blue.
Blue.
All right. Number yellow. I thought number yellow had already gone.
Nope.
All right. So number yellow is boomed, but I've got 2 foes right here. So I'm not going anywhere.
Well,
so I will remove the boom. And he is going to swing at Mira another couple of times because Mira looks dangerous.
Gross. Oof.
Ooh.
That will hit.
Yikes. All right, so you will take 7 plus... you'll take 8 points of damage.
I will revert to mirror form while hissing and screeching from that particular strike. So you said how many points? 7?
8.
8? Okay, so that carries over 3 points to mirror form.
Which,
you probably square back so that you're not engaged with them, but that's up to you.
Yeah, I would start out I'd start out in the upper corner.
Yep, I was going to ask where you wanted to be.
That's
Alright.
for a spellcaster, probably the better place.
The
Okay, but
the undead looks around like. This tiefling scampers out of the way. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50, 60. Running. Victor Toussaint, what would you like to do?
Victor also has protection from evil and good. He cast it on himself.
Okay. I will note you for concentrating and cast.
Victor will drop the bow that he normally carries near these tieflings. I'm not, so they can hold onto it for moral support. Wait, did I count that right?
Oh, it's just playing march music. I was supposed to play the fighting music.
All right. Victor will double move up to here. He will use his manipulate object action to draw a javelin.
Okay.
Then he will drop it near the tiefling lady, since she's obviously needs something better than a stick.
Okay.
And then he will use his bonus action to summon his greatsword that he is bonded with as an Eldritch Knight.
Ooh. You have a point of inspiration for being cool.
Yeah, I did a lot of things that did not involve actually attacking, and I am and I am done.
Okay. You still got an inspiration point.
I will take it.
Ross.
All right. Let me see here because I need to measure something. Sadly, I think I'm also too far away.
Sadly.
Well, I see that Tamira has gone down and is no longer in her lizard form. So I will use...
I'm still standing up, damn it.
I'm still standing better than I ever did.
Well, then I will use that opportunity to run into the space that she previously occupied. And I will draw my longsword as I do.
All right.
That's it, though. That was 2 movements.
All right. The zombie looks at you and goes, "Ah." All right. And then number purple can go on 0.08. Since Victor is rolled up on him, he will swing at Victor a couple times.
All right, don't forget your disadvantage.
Right. So that's the first. I'll do it 4 times. All right. So I've got a 13 and a 7.
Those will clang off of my armor.
Cling, clang. The zombie's like, it's kind of like almost inside your guard trying to grapple with you. And the tiefling lady looks like she's going to help you. Mira, what would you like to do? You are no longer a lizard.
Yes. Back to my druid self. It's all right.
You don't have to stay there.
Which one of these 3 is the least damage, do I feel?
They should have damage icons on them. Oh, but there's characters on top of them.
Yeah, a little bit.
So this, the blue one's taken 14.
Yeah.
Purple's undamaged, and the yellow's taken 7.
Okay. So I will admire the long sword that the purple one is carrying and decide this is a good time for it to be quite warm indeed.
I knew that was coming. Oh,
Quite
heat
warm
and metal. Okay.
Yes.
So do I take damage now, or it's a save?
Yes. You cause it. Any creature in physical contact takes 2d8 when you cast the spell. So I will click this thing.
Yep.
And 9 points of damage will. Yep.
Hot.
Ta.
When do I make the save to hang on to it?
You make a choice.
Okay, if I hang on to it, I'm just going to take damage.
No, it says the creature must succeed in a con save or
There it
drop
is.
the item if it can.
There it is. And it can drop the item.
Yep.
All right, so I'm going to put a light bulb on you so I know that you are concentrating.
Yes. If it doesn't drop the item, it has disad
Yeah.
on attack and okay, all that good stuff.
All right, Silvio, you are in the middle of the scrum, sir.
So I think it has. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. What's up?
I think it has to take the con save now.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was on my turn.
No, yeah, when it takes damage.
Gotcha. 22.
It is so very tenacious.
Doesn't really have nerves in the hands anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, Silvio.
Well, I am going to... Sylvia's going to step forward, filling in the gap between the zombie and Mira, because that way he can be gallant. And then he will shove his shield up and poke down under it, and we'll see about hurting this guy again. I will love the one I'm with, as the kids say.
Yep. The zombies are wearing like rotted leather armor. It doesn't look like they're not like in plate mail or anything. So an 11 hits.
Oh, well, haha. They have 9 points of piercing, and because I only get one attack, so it doesn't hurt me to not thunder him in the event he decides to move, he is sheathed in thunder.
Sure. All right. Number blue is going next. All right. Well, I'm left with a lizard, so it swings its rotted, rusting longsword at you, and you can feel the shimmer of power around you trying to protect you.
Dodge. Ooh.
So I have a 12 and a 19.
The 19 hits.
All right, so the first blow was actually going to hit you like thoroughly on the arm, and it stops just an inch away from your flesh, and sparks. What color sparks there, Ben?
Oh, it's rainbow glitter, obviously.
Obviously, rainbow glitter sparks start flying out from it, and then it swings again, coming straight at your head, and it just nicks you on your shoulder. So you can have 7 points.
Sorry.
That's all right. You can have 7 points of damage there. Codab Games.
Got it.
Wildfire.
Well, Wildfire's good back here, I think. Wildfire will toss will kind of reach up into his hair and kind of pull out a kind of a strand and hurl it at Yellow.
Okay. As he has a flame mohawk.
Indeed.
All right. So a yellow. So 11 hits, and he will take 2 points of fire damage.
God, my damage rolls have been terrible tonight.
I know, that's like 2 vicious mockeries.
Ugh, it's awful. both in a row 2s. It's terrible. Ugh.
The vicious mockery thing is a joke because in the last campaign we did, we had a number of people with vicious mockery, and it was always 1 point of damage. Like, it was just always 1 point of damage.
But it was a consistent 1 point of damage.
It was.
We can count on it.
Yes, count on it 1 at a time. All right, so the big lady picks up the javelin, and it's kind of an awkward stabbing weapon, but she goes in under this zombie's guard and knocks it really hard with the javelin, which puts it off balance so that Victor will have advantage on his next attack. Let's see. All right, so this tiefling lady is like, oh, okay, Mushi, where are you? This guy sends another bolt of energy sizzling down at this one. And the next zombie is yellow. All right, so this one reaches out for Silvio. It's like,
I'm disinclined.
it's twice your height. Do I have advantage, disadvantage, anything fun on you?
No, I have a high AC.
I 6, I believe, will miss. How about a 21?
Shield.
Oh, it's like that.
Yes.
All right.
I call upon the power of the X-Blade to protect me. and a shimmering shield, also of glitter because I'm on brands, appears, knocks it aside.
Okay. Noted. The other tiefling just kind of like yells and cheers. Victor, you have an advantage on your first attack.
All right. I will swing at the purple zombie. I get a 12. I guess a 12 probably still hits.
Yeah.
I thank the tiefling for the advantage. And I will do 12 points of great sword damage as I put a lot of oomph into it.
Nice.
All right. You end up chopping off like one of the zombie's arms, which doesn't seem to particularly slow it down.
Well, I'll get its head next time.
Good luck. Ross.
Right then. Now that I've actually engaged in combat, I look down at my wound, and that just kind of pisses me off.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to come back and give it to him twofold.
Are you becoming, spending a bonus action to become mechanically angry at this point?
So mechanically angry.
Got it. Got it.
Okay, let's see here. And I'm going to choke up on my sword and use it with 2 hands.
All right.
And you know what? Since I've got this protective shielding from Silvio, I think I'm going to go all in on this attack.
And attack recklessly?
Absolutely.
Bring it, sir.
I think that's a thing I can do.
It is.
Okay.
Yes.
21 will hit. And a 22 will hit.
I'll take the 22.
All right. So we're 9 points of damage. Did that add your rage into it appropriately?
No, so it's 2 more points of damage.
Got it.
So 11.
All right, taken.
And
you only have one. You only have one attack.
I do
what I'm
only
waiting
have
for.
1 attack.
What I'm waiting for. Waiting for the stoplight to turn green. All right. So the purple one growls at Victor, and its lips draw back from a rictus of green and nasty teeth. You can tell it's all made of swampy stuff, and swings its weapon at you.
I will grimace back.
Oof.
I didn't grimace hard enough, it looks like.
So I offer you a 23 and a 14.
You have disadvantage. So
pardon me. 20 and a 14.
But the 20 still hits.
Yes. Does 14?
No.
Okay. All right. So its first attack goes. It looks like it would have been more damaging than it was, but it pushes through the magical shell that protects you, and you take 7 points of damage. The next blow is coming in directly, even harder on your sword hand, and it is stopped by the shell of magical energy around you.
Should have cut off his sword arm.
Mira?
Mira's fairly happy back here. She will reach out and keep that one zombie's longsword nice and hot. So we'll let's see here.
I owe you a con save.
Yes, but it will also enjoy 6 points of damage.
I'll take it.
It makes the
17.
con save too. Yeah.
Okay. This is the purple one. Is the one that's heat metalled?
Yep.
Okay. Plus 6. Alrighty.
And while I'm doing that, I might as well send out one of my trademark suckered tentacles towards the blue one there.
Wait, what?
It will enjoy 3 points of sucker damage.
Oh, it's a spell. I thought it was an item or something, and I'm like,
Literally her tentacles. God.
Right?
You didn't know that our water genasi had tentacle arms? She's
As
part
one
octopus.
does. 30-foot
guess-
reach.
I mean, I'm jealous. All right,
Right.
is the 8 your attack roll?
Yes.
Okay, so the zombie's really slow, but it's not that slow. It kind of
Yes.
leans to the side as your tentacle goes right past it. All right, Silvio.
Silvio will continue loving the one he's with, and will, with a flourish, stab at him with his rapier.
All right.
Ta-da! Nope.
All right,
Nope.
so the zombie on the eastern side that's with Silvio, you just zigged when you should have zagged. Like, he was nowhere near where you thought he was going to be.
I was showing off. I thought it was easy to hit. Obviously, I should just keep to the actual fighting.
All right, the southern zombie that's kind of in the middle of the pack looks at Ras, is like, swings wildly with its sword.
And remember, I'm not even bothering defending at this point.
Ooh, man.
So instead of disadvantage, I just have flat rolls.
Correct. Oof.
All right. Even since you are attacking so recklessly, your guard is down. The zombie, which should be repelled by the field of magical energy, it's just not quite enough to keep it from hitting you, and it bursts in glittery sparks when the sword goes through it, cutting you twice for 7 points of damage each time.
And just as a reminder, this is only slashing damage, right?
It is
Excellent, because
only slashing damage.
I am resistant while raging.
Good stuff.
And you went on the rounding.
And you
Yeah.
went on the rounding. Wildfire.
This fight is taking a long time.
This one, if
Try
this,
doing more than 2 points of damage on your attacks.
It's true. It's true.
the sass,
Okay, I will. Given their
The-
current numbers,
the southern zombie and the eastern zombie have both taken so much damage that they show that they are damaged. They are visibly damaged. In a different edition of D&D, we might have called this bloody.
how recent was that? Like,
Shit, I don't know, Joe. Why do you ask the hard questions?
well, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to distribute my magic missiles, and so
Ooh, magic
the
missiles.
last hit did it for both of them.
okay. Well, then I will pile all of them into this guy here.
Number blue. Okay,
Number
the southern
blue.
southern
Number blue.
zombie.
Yes. One more time. There we go.
All right, so I see 10 points of damage.
Yep, 10 points of damage.
Magic missiles streak down the field, unerringly hitting that zombie. When they do, they kind of erupt into a odd greenish light, as if they're interacting with the necromantic forces that hold the zombie together. Okay. All right. Wildfire. So the big tiefling lady, again, she moves to here, so that she's betwixt them, and actually takes her shoulder and just chucks the zombie in the side, again knocking it off balance to help aid Victor's blow. The two tieflings in the back cheer. This one again sends some energy downstream. He sends a sizzling bolt of magic downstream. Wildfire, if since you're close, you could make an Arcana check to see what spell that is if you
Sure.
cared.
I'm always interested in a fellow Arcanist.
Yes, so it looks like Eldritch Blast.
Ooh, fancy.
Fancy.
All right, so the zombie on the eastern side continues clawing at Silvio, who it towers over.
Not a fan of this page. What's going on with these crits, yo?
Lo siento, amor. All right, so you will take
7 plus
7 plus 6. So you will take 13 points from the first one and 7 from the second one.
I don't take anything from the second one. You better step on out of there with it.
Maybe he's attacking you when you're down.
A, I'm not down, and B, a 17 don't do nothing to me, girl.
Your armor class is higher than 17.
As a matter of fact, it is.
Loud.
Take
All right.
that.
All right, noted. These are new characters. I don't know all their tricks yet.
But I will take the 13, and let's see if I make the DC 10 con save, or if the sparkles go out. Oh, no more sparkles on good friend Rock.
Aw.
Well, the good news is that you're not beholden to that concentration anymore.
That's right. Haha.
All right. All right. So that was the zombie on the east. All right. So another tiefling. All right, Victor.
All right, Victor will once again attack the zombie that the tiefling woman has given him advantage against. He will hit. However, this time, as he attacks, he will bark out a short string of arcane intonations that will cause his teeth to vibrate and also his sword as well. So this is a booming blade.
All right. I am heat metalled. I am boomed.
I probably should have focused more on damage, but it's 7 points, and he is boomed, or it is boomed.
The solid nick.
Yes, I gouged into the shoulder. I really, the way I swing, I always go for the left side of the body, and I'm running out of things to hit because I keep chopping bits off.
It's true. It's true. Ross.
To work on my backswing.
Well, I'm not entirely sure that I am coherent enough in my rage to realize that my protection has faltered. I feel like I might be able to take this thing out, so I'm going to go for the head.
All right.
Recklessly.
You got this.
11
Nice,
hits.
boo.
18 certainly does. So I'm looking at 20 points of damage. All right, that is in fact more than the zombie can handle. And as you cleave into it with your weapon, the bones just kind of go and all fall to the ground.
It is 16 points of damage. I don't attack twice. I get advantage.
Oh, sorry.
I just don't know if I've got a better way of rolling it in D20. Roll 20.
No,
You
you
do, but
do, but we'll get to that. But in 14 points is still enough to take it down.
Excellent.
Yeah, the bones just kind of like fall like a stack of Jenga bricks, and they're old green,
Ooh.
brown, and mossy covered. Clearly, whatever corpse this had been animated from had been somewhere wet for a very long time.
Gross.
Gross. Anything else from Ross? Would you like to move?
I will, in fact. It looks as though this tiefling and Victor, damn it, have things under control, so I will move into the brush around this one.
All right. All right. So again, this one continues clawing at Victor
At disadvantage.
at disadvantage. All right, and again, its blade slides off the coat of arcane energy hovering above your skin. Mira.
Mira is really enjoying how well the heat metal is working, so she's gonna dial it back up again.
That poor
She's gonna
zombie.
drop it.
Such a good spell.
Poor zombie should just drop it.
Right?
All right, so I made my con save.
So you hang on to the weapon.
So how much
10 more
damage?
points of damage.
10 more? I cannot, sir. All right, it literally, like, finally, it's been holding on to this heated longsword for long enough where the wetness around its, on the moss draped around its wrist has finally been boiled off, and then the moss catches fire, and, like, eerie fire starts to spread up through it. It just kind of to the side, still burning with this unnatural kind of greenish fire.
Mira's actually kind of freaked out by that. People usually let go before they catch on fire.
Zombies aren't super smart. Silvio.
Oh,
Not
I
that-
still got one more thing to do.
Oh, sorry. Go right ahead.
Sorry. I am going to send another tentacle in the direction of the remaining zombie,
Okay.
which we'll probably miss with the 6.
Like, they're pretty easy to hit, but a 6 doesn't do it.
I
Again,
don't have very good tentacle control.
Yeah, so the zombie is more concerned about Silvio and had actually maneuvered to get in a better position, which just moved him right out of the way of the tentacle.
Yep.
I figure it's the party's fault. Every night Mira asks if we'll help her trade with her tentacles, and we always
People are like,
we demur.
Back away.
No,
slowly.
thank you.
Silvio, yes, I will help you train with your tentacles.
that's totally not the training Mira was looking to have.
I don't know.
No.
What do you mean? It's totally not the training Silvio was expecting either. Like, let's be honest.
Everyone's surprised here.
Yes.
Everyone's a tentacle in their own way.
Anyways,
Silvio.
break me from afar with this. Is it across the buttocks, or so Silvio will flourish and attempt to stab once more, keeping his shield up, but quite happy to see his allies are no longer engaged, so they can come over here and help this. Huh? Why you no roll? There we go.
Sometimes
Nice.
it takes a moment. All right,
Nice.
you gig the zombie right through its rib cage, and your it's a rapier, right?
It is a magical rapier touched by the Lady Moon herself.
Yes.
Oh,
Actually goes all the way through the skeleton's rib cage out the other side, like piercing through the leather armor and whatever gristly bits are left and inside. It doesn't particularly slow it down, but it certainly does a whack of damage.
You know, if you were alive, it would have been much more impressive, my friends.
Wildfire.
Wildfire will remove another strand of hair and toss it at the undead creature. And miss. Good lord.
Oof.
Not my day.
It lands somewhere in the swamp behind it and goes. Yeah. All right. The big tiefling lady leans over to Victor and gives a whoop of victory, punches him on the shoulder, but like in a friendly way, and then runs over to this one. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And it looks like she has a readied action. She's behind this thing with her fists up.
All right, I'll attack her target.
you get that?
And
You
she-
monster.
right next to Ross, you realize, Paige.
What are you doing?
Oh,
Why are you sneaking up behind me?
okay. That makes more sense.
They're,
makes more
they
sense,
both
yeah.
had a green outline. Sorry. All right. This guy sends another bolt of energy down the field. That is still Ross. That is still the tiefling. All right. Y'all gonna have to watch my ass. All right. So the zombie seems to have no understanding that it is cornered and still after Sylvia.
Yeah. Wow. All right.
Only crits in this game, my friend.
Only crits.
Don't talk to me. Talk to Roll20.
Wow.
Yeah.
I
I
did the
think,
wrong thing, but Okay, well, so you're going to take...
Apparently, digital is the opposite of page dice.
So my dice normally suck. They famously suck.
Yes.
You need to make sure your dice realize that you are not, in fact, playing Star Trek. Because
We have a Sunday morning home game that is Star Trek. And in Star Trek, you want to roll a low number on a d20, and I do pretty good at that. All right, so you can have 10 points.
I have good news and I have bad news.
So 10
the
points
good
from
news-
the first one.
How is it 10 points if it's a crit of 7 plus 6?
Because the 6 is the damage roll, so I don't need the +3. I just need the 3 points.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Thank you for explaining. Good news is you get to point that second crit at someone else because I am no longer conscious.
Ooh. But you're too good looking to fall unconscious.
I know, right? I thought it was.
Oh,
All right, high, it's at the Tiefling. Low, it's at Ross. Well, I rolled 2 dice. So the first one, only the first one count. I just clicked the wrong number.
You got both. You got a high and a low.
Yeah, no, I'll take the first number always. So high, it's at the Tiefling. So she also falls unconscious. Womp womp.
Oh my. There's no one protecting me from the zombie now.
Which one of these is unconscious?
This one.
I never would have found that in.
I really need to zoom
Can
in
you
so I
guys
can
assign? Can you guys assign the tokens to yourselves? Or
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yes, indeed. I was going.
oh, look at that.
I think for the viewers, we might want to zoom in a little bit more too, by the way, because I think the icons are a bit small.
All right. So that zombie is feeling good about life. Victor.
I'm all over trying to recruit the zombie to our side, but probably not the right call. All right, I will stand over my fallen friend, protect him, and I will also bring my greatsword around. Luckily for me, the right side of the zombie is virtually undamaged. So I rolled twice, which is cheating because my advantage giver is unconscious. So
the first roll, which still hits.
10 hits? Excellent.
Oh, I thought there was just a 10 on the die.
Oh, no, you're right. That's a 16. So 16 hits.
Okay.
Because my bonus is +6. I don't have it.
I
everything
figured your
set up.
bonus was greater than 0.
Yes. And I will do 11 points of greatsword damage. And I will pick the boom up where my companion let it lapse.
Okay.
So if he decides to flee, he will be shooken apart.
All right. Ross.
All shook up.
Now that I've snuck up behind this thing, I will attempt to drive my sword through its skull. Again, recklessly.
Good.
I think I got it this time. Hold on.
Hey.
Well done.
Look at you.
Gorgeous.
You get a point of inspiration, Coda.
At the last minute, I switched to single-handed.
It was an impressive move. It was a very impressive move.
Not how that works.
Well,
You are striking with 2 hands until the words "I'm striking with 1 hand" come out of your mouth.
It is 7 damage. Directly to its brain pan.
All right, and that's all it takes. You crush the skull and the body falls over.
Amazing.
Yes. So we can come out of initiative for the moment.
I keep hacking at it for a second. Just, to make sure it's dead.
I try and get our companions, make sure their heads are above water and they're not
Ross,
slowly
Ross.
drowning.
Enough!
Yes. So the other tiefling runs over to that one that has fallen down and says, Linus, can you help her? You've got to help her.
Yes, I will. She's down.
Yes.
Okay. I thought she was unconscious,
Oh,
not.
I was walking back there to talk to them, and they're just walking away from me like
No,
jerks.
they're yes, they are running towards the downed
Like
tiefling.
jerks. I see
Like
how it is.
jerks. Like jerks.
Well, they can go. They can go save their own damn selves next time. I'll lean against this tree.
Fair.
Let's see.
They're 100% running towards their fallen comrade.
Sure, good on them.
When I say down, Andrew, that character is at 0 hit points.
My character summons
Right.
a globe of fire and begins to like drink from it.
I will lean down and touch the one who's fallen.
Before you get Silvio?
Like,
Sure, I guess I'll poke Silvio too.
I mean, it's cool, bro. I'm just bleeding to death. What ups?
There you
What
go.
all the
Enjoy,
tentacle practice was for.
enjoy 9 points. And then the other one will also enjoy 5 points.
All right.
And then
Gee.
I'm going to make a big handful of
Good berries.
Bornatella spherica.
What is that?
And Bornatella spherica. They look like little sort of glistening green translucent spheres that I hand out. I have 10 of them to hand out.
Oh, those are sea grapes, aren't they? Now I got to look it up because I know what it is.
Right. Well, while Mira's doing that, I'm harvesting some bones from these undead.
Actually,
Just to
let's go
make-
with sea grapes. That's the better choice. Sorry. Yes.
These will make for excellent clubs.
These warriors may have been raised against their will. I would prefer to bury them, perhaps preventing them from rising again, rather than using their body parts as weapons.
So I can't have this bone here. It's perfect for clubbing something.
I guess if you treat it with respect, it would be okay.
It shall be a magnificent weapon. And besides, shouldn't we dispatch their heads from the rest of their bodies? Won't that stop them from being raised again?
I'm not actually sure. Is anyone familiar with religious type things?
Well, I mean, you can always burn them. That always works.
Yes, well, wildfire.
Andrew, you can get a point of inspiration for your spell names.
Thank you.
I mean, I know a thing about religion, but there's nothing to say that their religion is the right religion.
All right,
Yeah.
Paige. As a barbarian, I'm going to use my religion skill that I'm definitely trained in.
Aren't you
I'm
a
excited.
shaman?
Shh.
No, he's not a shaman.
Oh, he's a shaman in training. I can really feel the in training part.
Is that 2?
He's amazing at it. I begin lighting
Paige.
them on fire.
Paige, please tell me everything I know about dispatching the undead.
I mean, clearly they're edible.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I use my Hungry
Yeah.
Jaws ability to eat some of them.
And, you know, if you consume the entire body, I mean, it's not getting reanimated.
So, Paige, just FYI, I do have the Hungry Jaws ability.
Oh, I
which
know.
is- okay. I don't know if
Mira,
there's...
Mira turns to Raz and says, "You should not eat them.
No.
And it's probably very bad for you. I know a little bit about unnatural things, and I think we should just bury them."
Silvio, you know that there has been a number of battles between Aglarond and Thesk. Aglarond most recently and Thay in this swamp.
Yep.
And a lot of good people have died here, and sometimes those bones get up and walk around just because they feel like it, and other times they have been raised for various nefarious purposes. What would keep these particular bones from being raised again is certainly to scatter them so that there's not a coherent skeleton to animate, or to burn them or destroy the bones, so there's not a coherent skeleton for someone to animate, or to bury them 6 foot deep so that it would be unlikely that a necromancer would find.
You know, as much as it pains me, more than actually being hit by that big rotting longsword multiple times, I must find myself agreeing with Wildfire that it is a good idea to burn them. And with that,
All right.
I will step away now that I have given express approval of something that I feel not very good about, but I still feel is right. It's very strange.
I will look down at my bone club before tossing it back into the pile of corpse.
Fire, 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 fire,
All right.
fire, 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 fire.
All right, so you create a pile of corpses and or skeletons and burn it. It takes it a while to get it to burn because everything is very, very damp. While this is all starting, the tieflings come over. Oh, thank you so much. We're so grateful. The big tiefling lady. Let's get pictures of these folks.
Yes, tell me more, tell me more.
Yes. The big tiefling lady comes over to Victor, slaps him on the shoulder again, and says, "I am Lindress. It was an honor to fight with you."
What do you have
That's
to
you.
say for yourself, Victor?
Yes. Oh, sorry. I'm glad that you were strong enough to hold them off until we could come to your aid. You were very impressive with that stick.
I would do much better with a large blade, but I appreciate it the least of a javelin. I'm used to fighting in a team anyway, so it's much more my style to have someone to coordinate with.
Well, just to be clear, we're from Aglaron, and we're under the impression that we're rescuing you from Thay. Is that true at all?
Forthright, who is the tiefling who's kind of a younger woman, comes up and says, "Oh yes, we escaped about 4 or 5 days ago. Was it 4 days or 5? I don't remember. 4 or 5 days ago, and we were hoping to get to Aglaron and get to safety. She is holding a cat that has clearly been walking through a swamp with her for 4 or 5 days and is not happy. It's a real muddy. It's like a long-haired cat, so it's got stuff. It's a mess. Garno says, "My name's Garno. This is Anchara, Forthright, and Lindress. Forthright, it was a domestic servant. Lindress was a gladiator. I worked in the scriptotum, and Anchara was the fourth child in his family, and was gonna be it was gonna be ugly. And I learned something that I think the Aglaron would be very interested in, and I'd really like to get sanctuary for the 4 of us from Thay, if that's okay. That's a thing you do, right? That is a thing.
Yeah, I mean that's why we're here to
Absolutely
take you back.
Like in Thay, there's all these rumors that if the lizard folk don't get you in the swamps, then the Aglarondians will kill any tiefling that comes through their borders. And we thought it might be just a bad rumor, but we weren't really sure.
So what is the thing you wanted to tell Aglaron? We are representatives of it after all.
Oh, so like I said, I worked in a scriptotum, and I had been translating some documents, and I know a little bit about what the Zolkir of Conjuration is looking for, this artifact, and I'm not entirely sure where it is, but he really wants it, and if he wants it, then it's gonna be really bad.
Yeah, that does sound bad.
And I hear the mention of lizard folk. It kind of gets my attention. But I will do my best to stay more away from them than the others.
They don't seem to be particularly taken aback by Ross at this point because he was clearly one of the people that saved them.
Well, nonetheless, I will make myself busy regrowing the flowers that were just burnt by wildfire's pyre.
All right.
So you said you have a approximate location on the artifact?
No, I don't have any idea. Just some references to where it is. I don't know the terrain or anything like that very well.
Do you know what it is called?
Not no, not exactly. No, I really don't. Well, I mean, kind of. It's an old elven artifact out at near Undamore, and it was this item that King Elfond had with him that theoretically, kept the powers of the elves. Something I don't really understand magic. I don't understand how it works.
Well, you did a good job escaping Thay, and we will make the rest of your journey less treacherous.
And probably less arduous, too.
And Chara, who, so you can tell that Garneau, Forthright, and Lindress, who introduced themselves, are wearing clearly very poor quality clothing that has clearly seen better days. And Chara is actually wearing like luxury clothing or nobles clothing that has also been torn up by the swamp. And Chara says, well, if we've gotten through to Aglarond, we'll do anything we can to make sure that you taking us in won't be any trouble for you, and we'll do anything we can, of course, to help Aglarond.
Excellent.
Do you have any food? I believe Forthright is quite hungry, and it leans over, and she is kind of making the hungry face.
Mira will hold up a double handful of these curious green translucent spheres to them. Please try one.
Oh, okay. And she tries one. Oh, this is really good. It's very filling.
There's lots of umami in there.
It is, yes. Could use a little salt.
I mean,
Sure.
All right.
Yes. I'll pass them around.
Sure. So the tieflings look decidedly better after having had a good berry each, and but they're exhausted. Like clearly they've been running through these swamps for days. Lindress points out we actually didn't sleep last night because that's when those things caught up with us. And while they're not super fast, they never actually slow down, so they're on our fucking tail the whole time. So we're exhausted, and Forthright's kind of delicate. I mean, Garneau is too, but Forthright is very delicate. So, like, they all seem to be super protective of Forthright, the smaller woman tiefling.
What time of day is it?
Late afternoon.
Then perhaps we could find a close area that's suitable for camp and set up a camp.
You find a close area that is suitable for camp, and you set up the camp. And let's take a break here for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
All right, 5-minute break for us and everybody else, and we'll be back.
See you soon, everybody.
Thanks,
Welcome
phone.
back.
We return on the Herald of Bells.
I had this whole like intro and cool stuff, and it just flew right out of my head. Welcome back to Feats and Fables, where our heroes have just rescued a group of tieflings who were being chased by undead. Let's go to this one.
That was sure an unpleasant pack.
Yes, they have been chasing us for a couple of days, says says Forthright. We expected to get chased, but we didn't think it would be well, I mean, at first it was mostly red wizards and their, flunkies chasing us, but then like it's been 3 different packs of undead.
That is very unpleasant. You must be very tired. Perhaps we should stay to investigate the other goings on in the swamps here. And Victor, why don't you take them back to civilization?
All right, I'll accept that charge.
But after that, I thought we would make Victor our leader because he was so gallant and so brave.
He is, yes.
And he even provided in dress a javelin. Clearly, he is the giving leader we all need to look towards.
I mean, clearly the tieflings would be more comfortable traveling back with our leader, obviously.
Ah, that makes the most sense, yes.
The tieflings are like looking around like referees at a tennis match. They have no idea what's going on here.
Well, when I return them, I'm sure they'll be grateful that we have selected a leader to lead our group. I'm sure I'll return safely after being made the leader.
Excellent.
And the good news is when you can tell them that we finally have a leader. Also, you will need to come up with a name for us that you can tell us when you're...
And Chara, who's the kind of the lighter-skinned tiefling, comes over and he actually bows to Victor and says, "We are in your debt, sir." Forthright sits down on the ground and kind of like hugs her belly and just sits there and like enjoys the feeling of not moving for a minute. Lindris comes over and kind of pets her head and then heads over to talk to Victor and kind of pulls him aside. "I don't think she's going to be able to walk for a little while. Could we give her to the morning maybe?"
Yes, I believe our current plan is to rest here tonight, and then at first light, we'll head back, and the other members of the squad will take care of some other pressing business we have. I'm pretty...
They going to be all right without you?
Oh, yes. We are rangers, after all.
Okay.
We are foresters. I don't think any of us are rangers, just to be clear. But if that is what you decide that we are a great leader, then I shall relent.
Yes, I meant... Yeah, Victor would not have made the mistake. We are
course.
proud. We are proud foresters. You saw only the tiniest fraction of Wildfire's power. Ross is actually a shaman in training with powers yet untapped. Mira has so much knowledge that she could pass through the swamp with nothing being able to even sense her presence. You pretty much saw all Silvio has to offer, but no, I'm joking. Silvio is a man of many talents, so yes, we will be fine. They will be fine. We will also be fine. I'm mainly going back with you. We've negotiated passage with the local tribe of lizard folk, so if I'm with you, there'll be no misunderstandings.
Oh, well, that's good. That's good. Wow, you guys made a deal with the lizard folk? I didn't think they were the type to talk first and ask questions later, and she kind of gives Ross a look. But it beats running away from them.
I busy myself making camp and cooking, and
Garneau immediately comes over to help with all the helping he can help. Chattering a mile a minute in the process.
I am both puzzled and confused by what is happening with this tiefling. This is not... I just let him go.
He's
I mean-
super helpful. Super helpful, not very helpful.
Silvio, who also comes from the super helpful stock, will entertain so that Ras can do Ras things as we help. We are not as helpful, perhaps, as we should be, but I will cook some dishes that perhaps are not as hearty as some of the things that the lizard folk prefer to cook.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, y'all have been camping with Ras for a while now. Like, he is super OCD about like camp preparation. Like, there has to be X amount of wood, and there must be meat served at dinner.
I mean, there must be meat served with every meal. He doesn't. I mean,
It might not be good meat. Like right now, he's probably cooking up some delicious frog. So maybe
Hey,
a
frog is
turtle.
delicious.
We're at Aglaron, my friend.
That's fair. That's fair. We are at Agalaron. They love frog legs, don't they?
Yeah.
With garlic and butter. Wow.
Victor will summon an unseen servant to take care of the more boring camp duties, so we can focus on the more interesting ones like cooking.
Okay.
Mira will carefully unfold a collapsible leather bucket and create 10 gallons of the cleanest water inside of it.
How much can the bucket hold?
10 gallons!
Oh,
To the
All right.
leader.
Yeah.
The tieflings are also pretty dehydrated, and they are super excited to get some clean water. Because they
Wildfire.
swamp
Sorry.
water. Go ahead.
Wildfire, after taking a glass of water and kind of drinking it down, will kind of lean up against a tree, sit down, lean up against a tree, and take a nap, or at least seemingly take a nap. But really, what he'll be doing is he'll be following his familiar around the camp, checking the perimeter.
Okay. Like lots of creepy crawlies, but
Yeah.
nothing larger than a big bullfrog.
Yep, Wildfire's just going to keep an eye out while the camp is getting prepared. Just in
Okay.
case.
Forthright absolutely begins to snooze, and Chara. So he kind of tries to help around the camp, but it's very clear that he is used to being waited on, not helping other people, and he's just not particularly good at it.
I'll make clear that there are guests for tonight, and they should focus on recuperating so we can get back to safety.
Yeah, Garno is incapable of not helping, so.
As long as he's only doing very light work, that'll be
Sure.
fine.
Lindress, who having eaten and drunk her fill, seems to be kind of riled up at this point. She's like, why don't I take a stroll around, get some wood, walk a watch? This is the first time in a long time I hadn't had to look over my shoulder every minute. It feels a little weird.
I think we kind of work like a well-oiled machine. Save your strength for tomorrow's, because you're going to be, like, in case we run into something, we're going to need everyone in their best shape.
I'm gonna go grab one of those long swords and see if I can find one that's not awful to carry. There's some sand over there too, so I can try and take some of the rust off the blade. She looks like one of those people that just has to be doing something at all the time. So she goes and gets the blades and finds the least messed up one and starts trying to rehabilitate it into a weapon she can use.
Silvio sighs and heads over there too, because buddy system is life when you're out here. So Silvio is not doing anything with swords, though. He's going to be drinking.
Sure. She looks down at him and says, You're not a tiefling, are you, short stuff?
No, I do not know what gave you that impression that I was, but no, I am not.
Your horns look a little different with hooves and the what can I ask? What are you?
I mean, it is a bit I guess there is no shame in asking. It would be worse if you assumed. I am a satyr of the great woods of Aglarond.
What?
Here, you should have this drink and work on your sword.
All right. I just, with the horns, I thought you might be, but okay. I've never heard of one of those before. Like I was born in Thay, and so I don't really know. I mean, I've heard stuff about Algaron, but I don't know what portion of it's bullshit anyway.
So, your kind comes from a long line of mortals cavorting with creatures from outside, usually one of...
That part I'm very, very well aware of.
Right. My kind come from that, but with woodland creatures and fairies and things like that.
Oh, fairies. I've heard about them. Yeah, yeah. They walk around in the woods and they have the hats full of blood and they go around killing like babies and old folks and
So
anybody who's not
those are not actually where I come from, at least not my side of the family. They are cousins, but yes, those are a thing, but they are not close relations.
I am right here. I am literally in the same place I have been all night.
Are you?
Hey, just-
Can they be sure?
You can hear him howling, right?
This podcast or this stream is now on a cat break.
Apparently. You can hear them howling, like...
We can barely hear them, though.
Okay.
If you brought the cats into the room, our viewing numbers would probably shoot right up.
I mean, I'm sure they'll be here momentarily.
We could advertise on so many more channels.
Yep.
Yes, but generally...
Because that's what we got told fairies are. And they hide in the woods and they're invisible sometimes, and then... And then they got sharp teeth and they wear these iron boots. No, not iron, because they can't touch iron.
Actually, the red caps, they do have iron boots. It is very strange why they get to be their feet and ankles, but the rest of us don't like the touch of the iron. It's weird. I don't know.
So that's not a fairy.
It is a fairy. It's a specific weird outlying case. I don't... My kinds of people very well known for music, cooking, drinking, wild parties, group sex, all those kinds of things, you know. Not the blood caps.
Huh. Okay, that sounds like a very different agenda than what I was told.
It is a wide range, just as you have. It is 12 hells, 9 hells, 8 hells,
9.
9 different types from each of those different places.
Okay, I get it. But I mean, we're all mostly. I mean, there's not that much difference. So how do I know if they're a sinner, not sinner? Say, what was it again?
If they're a red cap?
No, what you are.
Oh, a satyr.
How do I know? How do I know the difference between a satyr and a red cap?
So we all have goat legs and hooves, and are incredibly handsome, and have horns. We have little tails like this one, and Sylvia turns around and shows his little tail.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty cute.
I know, right? It's very impressive and also quite handsome. Frequently beards. We're really good with music. Yeah, that's about it. Generally, you will know because my kind of people look like that and ask if you want to have a drink and play some music and wander off in the woods. Not to assume that you want to do any of those things, but that is what generally you can expect, as opposed to wanting to slaughter you and dip my hat in your blood.
Huh. Because, you know, like a Glasian tiefling versus, you know, another type of tiefling, we all kind of look alike, so I thought all the fairies kind of...
I mean, do you? Like, I have heard of like, you have very pale skin.
Oh, no, but they're all different. They're all different colors, but, like, you know, we have the same... We all have different... You know, I guess it's the same, but different.
I mean, some of you have wings, I have heard. Some of you can cast different
spells.
Lucky
ones, yeah.
It's all weird stuff. And it's all part of this beautiful diversity of life here in Faerun.
So while that's happening at one end of the camp, we called out Ron as the leader, but he's a dude. Inchara pulls Mira aside, and he says, may I talk to you for a moment, ma'am?
Certainly.
And so he pulls you off to the side and says, Forthright is pregnant, and is not extremely pregnant, but enough where she's very hungry and she throws up a lot and gets tired very easily. This journey has been very hard on her.
I can believe it.
If there's anything we can do to make her life a little easier, as much as we can over the next few days, then I think it would be very healthy for her.
Yes, we'll have to make sure that she has enough sustenance, and perhaps we can see if we can, set enough breaks for her.
If you could find a way to tell your leader about that, kind of.
Our leader? Oh, you mean Victor?
Yes. I'm not sure how. I don't know him, and I don't feel comfortable discussing Forthright's condition with a man. I figured you might understand a bit, and there's nothing good I can really say to dig myself out of this hole. I just thought maybe I could trust you. It's awkward.
Mira thinks for a moment. Tieflings don't reproduce via like eggs or anything, right? Like they just
Nope, they do it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah, I mean it's mostly just mammalian anatomy that they
With some
traffic
horn.
in.
Yeah.
I mean it's a good thing it comes out as nubs because that'd be unpleasant.
It'd be super uncomfortable.
I will let Victor know, and I really didn't think tieflings were so. Okay, anyways, yes.
It depends on how we're socialized, but she's pretty traumatized, and I don't want to bring it up any more than absolutely necessary because there you are. Because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to traumatize her further.
I
See, there we are. There's everybody. There's everybody.
Do you think it'd be all right if I talk to her about it being her condition and all?
Yes, that would be fine. It's just I don't know. I mean, it's not really even any of my business. The only reason I know is because I've been on the. I mean, I didn't know any of these people. Well, other than Garno, I didn't know Forthright and Lindress until a couple of 10 days ago.
Anchara, you are a delicate soul.
And I just, well, regardless.
Okay.
He looks like super embarrassed to have had this discussion at all.
You're sweating a lot more than tiefling should.
Yes, well, it's the humidity in the swamp. I find it quite distasteful. Dry heat is more my style, really.
Okay. Mira will leave this trembling pile behind her and go over to Forthright and say,
Forthright is actually napping. Not like a deep nap, but she kind of passed out pretty much immediately.
Okay, I'll leave her alone then. I will go over to Victor though. And
right.
Okay, so Forthright is with child.
All right.
So delicate.
She doesn't really look it.
I mean, she's kind of bundled up.
She is. She's wearing like big baggy clothes.
Wait, is that what you guys were just talking about?
Let's not belabor it more than it already has been. That was at least 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back again.
All right. Well, I'll make sure we take extra breaks, and I'll keep my eye on her. I mean,
I'll try to send you out with an extra handful of good berries, but they only last a day, so.
Well, hopefully it won't take us too long to get out. I mean, worst case, I could probably carry her, but she looks like she can walk pretty well right now. We'll see how she is in the morning.
Yeah. And, we can talk to her and see how she's doing. And if you have an open lane of communication, perhaps you can forestall any other issues popping up. And I'm sure she could let us know what's happening.
Yes. I mean, I will try very hard to get out of the swamp before I end up having to deliver a baby. That'll give me some impetus.
She's nowhere near. Like, nowhere near.
But if you did, I'm sure you'd win some sort of interesting badge from the foresters.
Yes.
Hey, you never know when a 3-hour tour.
Fair. And I have seen you guys go some weird places before and take a long time getting there.
I will
It's only funny because it's true.
It's true.
try and look around and see if there's material where there can be a walking stick for each of them, especially Forthright, to kind of keep her from stepping anywhere too deep and things like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's plenty of wood around here, and you have a natural craftsperson with your lizard folk friend.
That is true. Hey, Ross, do you think you could help me make some walking sticks for these tieflings? It'll help them get through the swamp a little safer.
That shouldn't be a problem. And he takes a look at the trees that were nearby, because we camped on high ground in essence, where the trees.
Yes.
So
Because you're not dumb.
So I will start.
why are we neck deep?
That is lesson number 1 in the Foresters. Do not camp in a puddle.
Yes.
I will start cutting out a person-size staff and whittling it to appropriate balance.
Okay.
It'll be good enough you could fight with it.
Ooh. Yeah, so you have no trouble putting them together and coming up with suitable walking sticks for everyone. And within an hour or so, you have food and a merry little fire, and it is actually a pretty nice night.
And music?
And Silvio can music, or whoever music.
Okay, so on review of Cunning Artist,
Somebody might sing in addition to whatever instrument you're playing, or
quarterstaves are not on Cunning Artist list, so you can fight with it. It just you won't be able to use it after that. So
fair enough. Lindress is trying very hard to resuscitate some of those swords. There's one over here, but it looks like all the mold got burned off of it. I don't know how that happened.
Mira will come over and put a hand on Lindress's shoulder and say, "You should really put your whole arm into it, but just mind where your fingers go." And,
That's just things you say.
She tilts her head to the side and says, "I don't."
That came out wrong. Just be careful. And I give her a few hints here.
Okay. Yeah, no, Lindress looks like a completely capable fighter. Like, she's certainly got the scars. Like, her whole face and shoulder is just chewed up. It looks like something with a whole lot of teeth. Like, it's not a shark bite, because you'd be able to diagnose that pretty quickly. But it's something large with a lot of teeth got her and just must have savaged her.
Yeah. Anyway, she gets an extra 4 to her. I get this rusty longsword unrusted roll.
Thank you very much.
Mm-hmm. Does it look like she's actually making progress, or does it look like she's doing a Sisyphean task of trying to make these swords be anywhere near useful?
They'll never be good, but they might be poor weapons if she works on it a bit.
But, like, will they be better than a javelin?
Using a javelin hand-to-hand?
There's no penalties hand-to-hand.
Yeah, that's fair.
And the way you use a javelin hand-to-hand is you can use it just like a shorter spear, or you can hold it up like this and poke people.
Yeah.
And you have more reach than people normally think you do.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, whether it'll be better than a javelin, maybe not. I mean, javelin's a D6, longsword's a D8, but meh. It also looks like it's with your passive insights, she says, using the rules. The passive insights of we have Silvio at 13 and Victor at 10. Silvio, you get the impression that she's doing something so she can contribute.
Got it. I know this feeling well, so do not try to stop her in any way, shape, or form. I will continue to just hang out and talk with her until it's time to make music.
Okay. You discovered that she was actually a gladiatorial fighter for many years. She's probably in her 30s at this point. But she has been a top-end, highly prized gladiatorial fighter that belonged to a wealthy wizard, and had been fighting on his behalf in all sorts of fights. And she was definitely ready to stop, and had struck up a friendship with another of the people in that house, which was Forthright, who knew Garno, who knew Anchara, and between the four of them, they managed to come up with a plan to get out. Joe, while all this is going on, Garno stops hovering around the camp long enough to come up to you, and he's like, "You're a wizard, right? Or a sorcerer or warlock or something?"
I kind of open my eyes lazily at him and say, "I'm a wizard."
So what happened is that I was working for this wizard, and I took a lot of his correspondence, and he's an enchanter, and he Zolkir Tsenka, I guess I don't have to call him that anymore, I guess. But so the Zolkir of Conjuration was going to take this artifact that King Elfond once had, and it was something about the Shadowfell, and he was working with the Zolkir of Transmutation, and they were going to try to get a necromantic field team from Zastam, who's the leader in Thay. You know, like Thay, you've got a bunch of bureaucrats, and he talks a mile a minute.
Sure.
But it seems like he's trying very hard to tell you what happened, and his story just kind of wanders all over the place. He's obviously not in the best of condition right now, which makes it a little hard to understand.
Well, Wildfire has no trouble keeping up.
Yeah. So one thing that I've often heard that I don't know if it's true, but it's kind of an open secret in Thay. I mean, it's not really a secret, but I work for a Zolkir, so sometimes you hear things. And there are plenty of places in Aglarond where at least some of the people in Thay say that the bureaucrats that support the Simbark Council are actually and in the foresters have been suborned or replaced with Thayan agents.
I think that's certainly a possibility. I mean, the Thay agents are practically everywhere when you walk around.
They are?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Like, his eyes get real big. But
it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
No, I'm afraid. So I think the Zolkir would be really mad if he thought I was going to tell Algaron that, and so I don't know that I'll be safe.
No, you'll be totally safe. The foresters are fine.
So none of them have been replaced by Thayan?
No, I'm sure they haven't been.
So are you trying to torture this poor guy?
I mean, maybe a little.
I'm going to give you inspiration for that, because this is not behavior I see from your characters very often.
Joe is playing a very different character than the ones we know.
Yes!
This one we don't know, and we're not sure if we love him yet. But it is great range, so congratulations.
Great
but
range.
So one thing I will do is make sure I collect all the pertinent information from him. Right, like I'm a big fan of asking questions, so I will kind of drill in for some time on kind of the information he has to share to make sure that if he freaks out and doesn't tell anyone, at least I'll know what's going on.
Sure. So what you gather is that he was a scribe for the Zolkir of Conjuration.
Okay.
Did
he steal any papers when he left?
No.
Oh.
What happened though is he was asked to write and rewrite and re-record letters between the Zolkir of Conjuration and the Zolkir of Transmutation. He explains that Thay is ruled by a council of Zolkirs, which are people who are wizards that specialize in a certain type of magic or another,
Mhm.
which are, and the council's run by Zastam, which is the Zulkir necromancy.
Sure.
But they were sending letters back and forth to each other, but then also to Zastam, asking for the services of a competent necromancer and field team for part
Okay.
2 of whatever they were doing.
Sure. Excellent.
So, and he is thoroughly rattled by the time he concludes his discussion with
That's
you.
fair. He'll be fine. He'll figure it out.
I'm sure. So dinner is had, dancing, music, a little bit of joy is had in the middle there.
Indeed.
And
This is how we invite trouble with joy.
Yes. It all seems lovely until about 8 o'clock when thunder starts to rumble overhead. And sure enough, within another hour, a soaking rain is occurring. Mira, as a sea druid, you know that this is just a small storm passing by. You've got an inherent feel for it, and you think it'll be gone surely by sunrise. But until then, it's just going to be wet.
But
It doesn't bother me. But go ahead.
This is delightful.
Oh, it feels real good. Like the nice rain, and you've got a full belly, and you're kind of warm. Like, that's good times, man. Good times.
Ugh, rain.
The tieflings kind of huddle together miserably, just for illustrative purposes.
Mm-hmm.
We would give the tieflings access to our tents.
I was going to say, they
but
have a tent.
Because Silvio definitely has a tent, and he's probably letting the tieflings stay in his tents.
Okay.
And they also have mine, as I do not really need one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Regulations just force you to carry one.
Yep. He's got a uniform somewhere too. Whatever. I'm talking about Ross having a uniform somewhere too. Just purely for illustrative purposes.
Purely.
Well, this is very...
It starts to rain. Oh, is that sound effect too loud?
A little too loud.
How's that? Okay. Let me move y'all's tokens over too. Like I said, purely for illustrative purposes. It's just to get the sense of what the area looks like. There's no other reason, surely, that I would do this.
It's such a small area too, like a phone booth.
There's plenty of... Tell me, Shirley.
The problem is that because it's raining, it's hard to see very far away.
Well, I am still, unless we're actually actively sleeping, my snake is still orbiting the camp, functionally.
Okay.
Also, who here can actually see in the dark?
Not me.
I don't think I can either. I think I do not have dark vision.
I can.
Tieflings all raise their hand.
I want to say I can, but I can't.
Wow.
It's nice to want to say you can. I mean, like, I want to say I can, and I can, so it's fine.
I forgot to put tents on here.
That's a pretty...
I traded dark vision for the ability to hit people with my horns, so no regrets.
Wait, there might be some magic resistance slid in there somewhere too.
I mean, really, it was mostly so that I could also have 3 proficiencies for free too, because that's pretty fly. But
well, so we'll be counting on, I guess not us.
These are the tents. I forgot to put tents on there.
Paige, since Russ is sleeping outside anyway, he will monitor the fire to make sure that it doesn't extinguish completely.
Okay. So this is... are people going to try to sit outside and eat or whatever?
Well, when did this illustrative take place? While we were sleeping or while we were eating?
So it takes place when the rain starts, which is about 8 p.m.
So we would have eaten both before that.
Okay.
I would think.
Yeah, so we're just relaxing then.
Okay. I'm gonna have to give you a little more space.
The final frontier.
Yes. I just can't get all your tents in there.
Well, the tents, to be honest, are probably not 10 by 10. I mean, I think putting them as 5
Fair.
by 5s would be perfectly fair. They're.
You know, you're entirely right.
And we'd probably do something smart, like cluster them together or something.
Yeah.
Because it's not like people maintain 5-foot distancing when they're trying to sleep in a tent.
See, now I'm curious what the player's handbook says about tents. Let's see what the player's handbook says about the size of tents, just for funsies.
A
This
10 by
getting
10 foot
cool.
tent is huge.
Yeah, I mean it's a big tent that we would probably have one of those and not a bunch of small ones. Or
It's really,
People
it's really
kinda,
intense.
People kind of like their privacy. We might each have our own tent. It's. I wonder how they do it.
And we could go back to the 3.0 days. It's medium-sized, long.
Yeah, that's what my brain wants to do in a serious way.
Well, you can. Yeah, they could be 5 by 10 tents.
a simple and portable canvas shelter, a tent sleeps too.
Which could still be 5 by 5. Well,
Yeah, I'm really saying that's what. I just want to know. I had never looked up what the tent does in the player's handbook because it's like, oh, it's a tent, duh. But I'm curious what the world standard is for the.
So this is what you're like. Everybody can certainly do whatever you need for a short rest. The tieflings kind of huddle around the fire miserably once the rain starts, and unless y'all tell them, like they're trying to be really polite about it.
Go into our tents, please.
Okay, so they go stack up. The girls take one tent, the boys take a different one. So, are you going to ask them to take watches tonight?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
They've been through enough.
So, what does watch structure look like for y'all during the night?
Well, oh, okay. So we're going past 8 p.m.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably take the middle I'm a spellcaster.
You are.
I probably take the middle watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to take one of the end watches.
Yeah, I will take the... So Andrew and I will probably switch. Andrew, do you have dark vision as well?
I have the spell Dark Vision, so if I cast it before early enough,
Okay, so you don't have dark vision. I'll take the...
I don't.
I'll take it when it's the darkest of the two extreme...
Probably the morning.
Sure, I'll take it in the morning then.
Yeah,
So just-
I'll take the first watch, and that way I can cast Dark Vision and have 8 hours of it.
And just to
Makes
remind,
sense.
Victor and I are spellcasters as well, as far as needing the 8 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's probably going to be 2 of us on the first watch, and then 2 of us on rather. It's going to be
So
2 of the sleep at the
first,
front. Sleep,
How
2
many
of us sleep-
watches are you running? 1, 2, 3, 4?
3?
Three is pretty much the standard.
Okay, 3 3-hour watches.
I mean, we have to get 8 hours. So
3 4-hour watches.
3 4-hour
Yeah.
watches.
yeah.
All right, who, in the immortal words of a great American, who's on first?
That'd be me, and
I guess one of us. Or wait. So there's 5 of us.
Yep.
no, this is going to be lopsided.
Well, I guess it.
I mean, Ross has the middle watch, is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
Because
are
he's-
all spellcasters.
Because we're all spellcasters.
Right.
Well, you could have your familiar also be on watch in the middle watch, because it can be awake when you're not.
That's true. Yeah, my familiar will also be on second watch.
I mean, tonight I can also be on middle watch because I only use pack spells, so I got those back on the short rest.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you take the middle watch, then that would mean you weren't on one of the other watches, so we don't really gain any ground unless we. Although if we think the middle watch is the most dangerous, we should double up on that one.
I kind of think so.
Okay. Well, in that case, we should probably take Silvio up on his suggestion. So I'll take first watch with Mira. Silvio and Ross will be on second watch, and then the final watch will be Wildfire and Wildfire's sidekick.
Sure.
And by that, the Tieflings will have gotten 8 hours of rest, and I'm guessing that the Gladiator is probably going to be wanting to do something after 8 hours.
That's true.
So we won't ask her to, but we'll assume that she's going to pitch in.
Okay. So I think we've got it about as good as we can.
Paige, keep in mind that when my watch begins, I take 10 minutes to cast a beast sense.
Of course. All right. So let's see when all hell breaks.
What? You told us this would be peaceful.
Rather,
I lied.
Yeah. To clarify, I use pack spells and I use spells from my item, so I have all of my bard spells left.
Fair enough. So on third watch, y'all can see my rolls, right?
The most complicated one.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it is still raining, and the sun has not yet come up, but it's close to it. So true to form, Lindress does sneak out of her tent very quietly, and shall I put y'all in tents?
Yeah,
I'm on watch.
Yeah,
we'd probably have the flaps open or whatever, but we'd be in the tents.
Paige, before I went to sleep, I would have transformed my familiar into an owl.
Okay.
I am not sleeping in a tent.
So I have gotten a short rest then, because it's third watch.
Okay.
Right, I've gotten a long rest.
You're asleep by the fire then, right? Right, Coda?
Yes.
Yes, Joe, you've gotten your 8 hour long rest, so you're fully
full of vim and vigor.
Indeed.
Yep. And it right about this time, it's probably about, I don't know, 5 o'clock in the morning. Like the sun will be up within the hour, certainly. Actually, it's kind of summer, so it's probably more like 4 o'clock in the morning. And the rain finally stops, and the moon, you can finally see the moon. It's a full moon, and it's gorgeous, and it kind of makes the swamps all shiny, and it's really, really beautiful. Lindress takes a moment out to just kind of sit there, and she kind of sidles up to Wildfire and says, So Garneau told me that you think that you agree with him, that the foresters or the government might have been penetrated by Fae and spies?
No, not the foresters, but it's certainly possible the government might have been. I mean, the Thays are pretty tricksy.
The Thayans are indeed pretty tricksy. My tiara is not on straight. My concern is if Garneau knows about the Zulkir of Conjuration's doings, it's entirely possible the Zulkir will just, tell him to get killed.
No, I think that's very unlikely. I mean, like I said, the foresters themselves should be pretty totally fine.
Do you think they'll believe what he has to say?
I don't know. He's telling an awful big story with not a lot of evidence around it.
No, there's no evidence except what he saw, and the fact that they sent 3 different packs of undead after us. Now, this is the first time I've ever escaped Thay, but that seems like a lot of bother just for the 4 of us. And Chara's family might want him back, but kind of think not.
Well, for what it's worth, I think he's telling the truth, but I think he'll have a harder job convincing the military organization that were a part of it, because the thing he's suggesting is hard to believe. It's so dangerous that it's going to be hard for anyone to believe, yeah, this is a thing that could even happen. Most people tend to want to not believe things if they're scary.
So the thing he's talking about that got lost, he mentioned it was in Singing Sands.
Interesting.
And I know that was the site of a big battle. I know a little military history, where Thay conquered a huge army of elves from Aglarond.
Singing Sands, you say? Interesting.
Are you trained in history?
I am not.
But you're smart.
I am smart.
You could make me a history check.
I will use my inspiration on that. Because I don't see why I wouldn't have. Sorry.
Quite all right. Yeah, so the Battle of Singing Sands, King Ethelrond Olyasini is one of the old kings of Aglarond after the humans and elves had made their pact to become a blended society. But he was a half-elven king, and he got it into his head that he would use Undamore, Emic, the fort, as a jumping-off point for an invasion into Thay. And the Thayans wrecked him. Just absolutely wrecked him.
Well, that's what he gets.
Destroyed most of his army.
Interesting.
So, and he died there.
Yep.
So Lindres says, the battle was a long time ago. I mean, probably 500 years. I guess that's nothing in an elf's lifespan, but could it be possible there's something powerful left from that battle?
I think there's always something powerful left by battles of that scale. Good, bad, or indifferent.
I guess. Well, I mean, Aglarond has a pretty good relationship with magic, right?
I'd like to think so.
Oh. Yeah, all right. I guess so. It's just, the reason why we left Thay was because Garno was afraid that something awful would happen, and he wanted to get this information to Aglarond. He figured it would buy us a ticket to not getting killed by the Red Caps.
Well,
that rule Aglarond.
Well, you're trading a 100% chance of getting killed for like a 15% chance of getting killed. Like, that's a pure improvement.
Absolute upgrade. I agree. I'll take those chances.
Exactly.
And Inchara's family was probably going to kill him because they didn't want a tiefling among their heirs. And he was the fourth born. So, the way some of these big families go through assassinations, he could have been head of the family in no time, and they were not going to have that.
Well, what I can tell you about my wonderful country is that we're welcoming of all types, so you won't experience that kind of speciesism here.
That's good. People don't, shoot tieflings on sight or nothing? Because that's the other thing we heard, is that they,
No. No more than they shoot everyone. Aglaronians are kind of standoffish in general, but, they won't shoot you because you're a tiefling just because they want you off their land, functionally.
Make me an I bullshit the tiefling check.
I think I'm telling lots of truth right now. Speaking truth to power is all I'm saying.
You just told them they get shot off of their land, someone's land.
All right, that is a very sufficient I bullshit the tiefling check. So she looks conflicted. She looks absolutely conflicted.
This is what it comes down to. Independent of what's actually going to happen or not, you got a better chance in Aglarond than you have in Thay.
That I agree.
There you go. Now you're done. You have few options is your problem.
So she shrugs her shoulders and kind of looks upward, just kind of thinking. And she's like, eh? And points up at the sky.
You can fly? 'Cause if you can fly, you should definitely do that. Oh,
no
shit!
She can't. But you do see some other flying things. You see two skeletal birds that are flying just with tufts of feathers, and a winged silhouette of some other kind of creature that makes a soul-shivering screech and dive bombs towards you and Lindress.
That's a problem.
We'll find out next week if it's a problem.
Oof.
What?
Guys,
Do we at least wake up?
we'll find out next week.
Ah. And this is how we died in our sleep.
Yup.
So thank you very much for tuning in to Feats and Fables. Let's see. What was I going to say? Thank you for joining us on this adventure. We'll have the video up on YouTube, the audio in podcast places around midweek. Please, if you can, follow us on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, support us on Patreon, or at least like us on iTunes. It really does help. You can find us at Feats and Fables on each of these platforms. We would like to thank Roll20, which is our virtual tabletop. All of the music you heard tonight is by Kevin MacLeod, as served by Roll20. The music can be licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 3.0. The maps are made in Incarnate, Dungeon Painter Studio, Campaign Cartographer, thank you Humble Bundle, or from various places on the internet as map logos indicate. We would like to thank our supporters, particularly Erskine James, who is one of our Patreon supporters, Mass Skeptic for hanging out with us in Twitch chat, and Amy Dezura for her very glittery inspiration. Please join us next Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time to see what happens next. Follow us to
Do adventure!
Do adventure!